Game 2, the Stanley Cup final between the Oilers and the Canucks. Let's see if the Oilers work for the series tie. And let's see if the Oilers will be the Stanley Cup final.
0 people.
Unbelievable.
Zoom 1.0 top viewfinder 38 seconds. Pause recording. Take picture. Pause recording. But 41 seconds. 0 people.
Thank you, Ron. Nicely underway at Rogers Arena as the curtain goes up on the Canucks home opener with their new head coach, John Tortorella, trying to reinvent the home team. And the Oilers coming to town with their rookie coach, Dallas Eakins, saying, we will not bow to this team anymore. The Canucks playing short-handed tonight without first-line right winger Alex Burrows, who will be out for a couple of weeks, Kelly, after injuring his foot blocking a shot against San Jose.
Let's take a look at it, Mark. Right in front on a 5-on-3. Patrick Marleau winds up with the one-timer, and Burrows in an attempt to block the shot. Does so, but he's not able to play tonight, and John Tortorella is telling us he might be out a couple of weeks, so Jannik Hansen finds his spot on the right side with the
Sedeen. 0 people.
Pushing and shoving at the face-off as Hansen gets his hands into the face of the Oilers captain, Andrew Ference. The Canucks playing with 11 forwards tonight and 7 defensemen as Yannick Weber moves into the line.
Take a look. These two teams certainly don't have very good feelings towards each other. We did that preseason game, Mark, on September 21st. There was a bunch of stuff on that one as well.
Yeah, Dale Reese and Jack Passy have
0 people.
after taking headshots at Hall and Jordan Eberle. And we get roughing penalties right off the bat here as Ference and Hansen go to the penalty box. 4-on-4 hockey here early in the first period. Taylor Hall.
0 people.
Setting up along the boards, throws it into the corner. Edler is there. Hemsky takes it away from him, tries to center. Stopped by the paddle of Roberto Luongo. Luongo, who made 16 saves in the first period against San Jose Thursday night in a 4-1 loss, facing 35 shots in the short onslaught. Here's Edler taking the pass from Henric Sadeen. Sadeen banging into his brother Daniel. It gets over his stick. Garrison pinching now for Vancouver. Henry behind the net, in front, side of the goal, banging away. Another chance for Daniel. 2 chances. Side of the goal. Garrison pinching now for Vancouver. Henry behind the net, in front. Here's Edler taking the pass from Henric Sadeen. Sadeen banging into his brother Daniel. It gets over his stick. Garrison pinching now for Vancouver. Henry behind the net, in front, side of the goal, banging away. Another chance for Daniel.
0 people.
The stick of Luongo, and out of play as the Oilers heat it up.
Well, Justin Schultz sure made a name for himself last year with his excellent play when he came up from the Oklahoma City Barons, and here's a play where he just goes right in between the defenseman Hamhuis and Tanev and gets a pretty good chance on Roberto Luongo right there, and then Taylor Hall gets a shot on Roberto Luongo right here, and Roberto's able to see that one and turn that one aside.
0 people.
Off the draw, the exit, tangling along the boards with Perron, who maintains possession. He gets it back to Nick Schultz. Schultz with no shot, back to Perron. His pass goes off the Canucks stick, back to center ice. And Petrie outlets to his partner on this shift, Nick Schultz. Back up ice comes Edmonton. Perron sidesteps the hip check from Bieksa. And we've got a penalty coming here, a tripping call.
0 people.
And the Oilers are going on the power play as Bieksa heads to the penalty box.
Kevin Bieksa in an attempt to step up on the play on David Perron.
Number 32 minutes.
right at the Canucks blue line. You're going to see him come across right here. He stumbles, actually, Kevin Bieksa does, and that's why he falls into the feet of Perron. He misjudged the speed of Perron, and he takes a 2-minute tripping penalty.
The Oilers power play ranked number 3 in the first week of this NHL season, 2 for 5. On Tuesday, in a 5-4 loss to Winnipeg. Now we're 5-on-4 situation. Hansen out of the box, has his shot go off an Oilers stick, and Yakupov scoops it up. He's playing right wing on the second line tonight, moving up as Eberle moves to the fourth line, or rather the third line. Here's Yakupov, a rink-wide pass, broken up by Garrison. In the corner, Hemsky along the boards with it, setting up. Down low for Ryan Smith, back to Hemsky. Schultz is on the point. It's broken up. Schultz tries to get it deep, but can't. Here's a breakaway now for Richardson, short-handed. Richardson in, big shot. In the corner, Hemsky along the boards with it, setting up. Down low for Ryan Smith, back to Hemsky. Schultz is on the point. Down low for Ryan Smith, back to Hemsky. Schultz is on the point. It's broken up. For Canuck. Jun.20 down stick of bouncing back to Arcavello, rink wide into the skates of Perron, but he niftily gets it back up to his stick, a bouncing puck cleared by Amuse. Jun.20 down along the board. Arcavello had it taken away, and the Canucks will get it down the ice. 30 seconds to go now in the Oilers power play. Bouncing puck cleared by Amuse. Jun.20 down along the board. Arcavello had it taken away, and the Canucks will get it down the ice. Outlets to center. Right. No shots on goal for the Oilers power play. Ferentz at the side of his goal. Outlets to center. Brown waiting for it. Will Acton will flip it softly. The corner, he goes off the stick of Luongo.
Zoom 1.0 Zoom 1.0 7 minutes. Pause recording button.
On the fourth line for the Oilers. Edler jumping into the play by himself. A long shot that whistles wide on the stick side. Booth pressing. It goes off a stick and out of play.
Mark, there's a noticeable difference in the game that Yakupov and Perron have started with versus Winnipeg. Winnipeg, Dallas Aikens, their coach, said that those two guys started slowly. They're kind of feel their way into the game. Well, tonight they're going right off the get-go, and like I said, it's noticeable. These guys have an energy about them, and they are skating right now.
Oilers beat the Canucks 5-2 and 4-1 in the same week during the preseason, but of course there were so many different faces and prospects in those lineups. Edmonton blowing that 2-goal lead in the second period in their season opener to Winnipeg to lose 5-4.
0 people.
And calling to a man to cut down on turnovers, and Devin Dubnyk saying he'll be a lot better. Here's a turnover in the zone. Booth snaps the shot. It's blocked by Ladislav Schmid. A backhand in front for Kessler. He bangs at it, the side of the goal. Taylor Hall is back to dig it out. Hall to the right side. Hemsky now. Head manning. Petrie jumping back into the rush. Smith a long shot. Warded off by Luongo to the corner he goes. Kessler's pass ahead. Yannick Weber getting some work as a forward here tonight. A big hit by Kessler along the boards as he runs over Hemsky in front of the Canuck bench. Zach Delpy, head management. Mosquito's shot is soft and stopped by Dubnyk, and then Belov runs over Delpy at the end of the play, and it looks like we've got a penalty coming here to Belov. Belov going to the box. Vancouver on the power play. When we come back to Vancouver.
On the Stanley Cup play.
0 people.
Anton Belov has a 2-minute minor for tripping.
Pretty obvious penalty right in front right there. Mark gets his stick in the legs of the Canuck player.
The Canucks were 1 for 6 on Thursday night on the power play against San Jose. Jason Garrison with that big blast in the first period. The Sadeens out there along with Garrison on the point of Denver. There's Garrison in front, a loose puck. They bang away. Kessler looking for it, and Dubnyk will cover it up for a whistle.
Mark, you talked about Garrison with that big blast. scored Thursday. Well, this was a different kind of setup play. He just wristed at the net. There's a lot of traffic right there. Kessler in front. He's trying to bang away at it, but Devin Dubnyk was able to corral it after losing sight of it for a sec there. A little bit of traffic in front also.
It's kept in at the line.
Trying to bang away at it, but Devin Dubnyk was able to corral it. Well, this was a different kind of setup play. He just wristed at the net. There's a lot of traffic right there. Kessler in front. He's trying to bang away at it, but Devin Dubnyk was able to corral it after losing sight of it for a sec there. A little bit of traffic in front. Net. There's a lot of traffic right there. Kessler in front. He's trying to bang away at it, but Devin Dubnyk was able to corral it after losing sight of it for a sec there. A little bit of traffic in front also.
It's kept in at the line by Garrison. His long shot is right on goal. Henric Sadeen is knocked down by Ladislav Schmid. Boyd Gordon and Will Acton are out there first for Edmonton on the kill. And they can't get it out of the zone. Edler leaves it for Daniel Sadeen. Across for Garrison. Garrison back along the blue line for Edler. Edler along the boards. Waiting for it. Henric Sadeen to Daniel. Daniel in. Fans on the shot. Garrison on the backhand, and he misses the net. And finally, it's cleared down the ice by Gordon, who heads to the Oiler bench for a change. Both teams changing on the fly. Halfway through this power play.
Pause recording. 11 minutes. Pause recording.
Pass is in behind Booth. Booth moving up to the second line on the right wing tonight because of the Burrows foot injury. He's expected to be out for a couple of weeks. Loose puck now. Eberle banging at it. Santorelli goes down. Hemsky with a nice move around Bieksa, but Hamhuis is back to cover up. It's center ice. Santorelli dropping it back inside the Vancouver zone. Bieksa settles the puck, gets to center, and chips it in the Oilers zone. 24 seconds to go in the power play. Ferentz around the dasher boards, kept in by Booth. Santorelli and Booth banging away for the puck. It's still in the zone. Higgins drops it for Booth. He winds and fires and misses the net. Hamhuis now keeps it along the boards. Higgins holding on to the cycle. The pass comes back to Booth. To Bieksa. He fires it wide. The rebound off the back of the net. Santorelli scoops it up. Booth can't get all of it. Here's a chance for Higgins. Back to Bieksa. Bieksa fires. Pad save by Devin Dubnyk. Oilers back to full strength, but another penalty coming here to Edmonton as Bieksa charges in deep. Luongo heads to the bench for an extra attacker. Santorelli trying to hold on to the puck. Belloff back on the ice, takes him into the boards, and will get a whistle. And a high sticking penalty now coming to the Oilers. And Vancouver going right back on the power play.
Anton Belloff again, the culprit here for the Edmonton Oilers, just gets a stick up right here in an attempt to clear the puck. I don't think Booth was cut.
77, 2 minutes.
And then Higgins, nice pass right here, good puck support. Bieksa comes in and an excellent save. That's about 12 inches high only on the stick side of Devin Dubnyk. That is a tough save.
So Belloff back in the box for high sticking. Kessler and the Sadeens back out along with Edler and Garrison. Vancouver 0 for 1 on the power play so far tonight with 2 shots on goal. Daniel Sadeen for his brother Henrik. Back to the point. Garrison across for Edler. Edler waits. Gordon trying to get in his lane. Edler to the circle. Daniel Sadeen around the boards. It's cut off by Schmid. He gets it to the perimeter. Acton off his skate, not out. Edler throws it towards the net. Loose puck now. Here's Kessler with a shot. It ricochets off Petrie, and he's injured.
0 people.
Petrie got hit in front of towards the net. Loose puck now. Here's Kessler with a shot. It ricochets off Petrie, and he's injured.
Ryan Kessler. Vancouver starts first. It's a 1-0 Eurogroup 2 in the final.
Petrie got hit in front of the net, and the puck, I don't know where it went.
0 people.
Mask or something.
Dallas Aikens was telling me today that he just loved the game that Boyd Gordon brought on Tuesday. Here's an example of what he does really well. Edler wanted to go through the passing lane right there. Gordon takes out away. That's a really smart play. Just loves how he's a low maintenance player as well.
And it will be the assist and the goal as well.
0 people.
Player as well.
Minute 32 left in the high-shipping penalty to Bella. Henschke in the circle against Kessler. One by Kessler directly to Edler. A shot. Big rebound. Parents can't steady it. Henrik Sadeen has the lead there. To Henrik. Henrik Sadeen is on the Henrik there to help. They still have Edler with a shot.
0 people.
Edler across Parents' shot again. And Duggan gets his carrier out to make the save.
Well, now it's Edler. Right off the face-off, he gets in position right here and just wires one. Friedman takes that one very easy, which it wasn't. Edler can really shoot the puck. Here's one that goes off the skate of Kessler. Friedman sharp so far, even though he's giving up the breakaway goal to Brad.
0 people.
He has looked good.
Jackson loses the draw. The Exes scoops it up. At the point, Andrews through traffic. Another bouncing puck in front. Clear to the boards. The Exa is in deep for Vancouver. Booth along the boards. Atkin got it free. The Exa keeps it in play. David Booth comes off the boards into the high slot. His shot is blocked by Nick Schultz. Hansen, stick check by Ferentz. Higgins helping out. Hansen gets it back around the boards to the left point. Andrews bouncing it back in deep along the boards.
0 people.
Higgins, his pass goes right by Boyd and out to center and inside the Vancouver zone. 35 seconds to go in the Vancouver power play. Yannick Hansen has it knocked off his stick. Right back to Bieksa. Bieksa, a one-timer. Hamhuis misses the net. And it's cleared off the boards by Petrie. Time for one last rush. But Joensuu, that big fin, is in on the forecheck. Here comes Bieksa. Up the right side.
0 people.
Savarelli. Around the boards, in behind the Oilers goal. Petrie can't get it past Stanton. Ryan Stanton at the blue line. Now Edmonton will get it to center as Bieksa hustles off on the change. And the penalty to Belov is over. 3 shots on goal on the Canuck power play. But they couldn't solve Dubnik on that one. Justin Schultz for Gudzik. The fourth liners are back out for Edmonton. Dallas Aikens admitting he should have played them more in that Tuesday
0
season
people.
opener against Winnipeg. Gazdic had his first NHL goal and his first NHL shift in that game.
Pretty good way to start.
Not bad at all. Mother jetting in from Toronto to see it all. Nice. Gazdic now bouncing it just inside the Vancouver line. Stanton throwing it back down the ice. Ferentz picks it up. Quickly across to Justin Schultz. Schultz, nowhere to go. Estito is on him. A mismatch inside there. Ferentz now in trouble. Throws it around the boards. Right to the point.
0 people.
Garrison waiting. He bounces it deep. Ferentz on it again. Tries to get it off the boards. Gadzik is knocked. It's kept in by Zach Dalpe. But now the Oilers get the center. Arcabello flipping it softly in the Vancouver zone. Jason Garrison. Across to Edler. Reddick to center. Where David Perron is waiting. Across to Belov. Finally out of the box after 2 consecutive penalties, he gets it in deep for Edmonton. Hansen chopping at the center. Daniel Sedin is there first. He'll gain the line, leading
0
for
people.
Henrik. Henrik now. Here comes Edler. His pass right to Edler. And a big save as Dubnik was waiting for that. Sedin's with some support from the blue line as Edler jumps the rush. And Devin Dubnik makes the save again for Edmonton.
7:50 to go in the first period. Oilers.
TikTok. Now, you may like this video. Please use new phrase 8. Attachment.
Terminally handshake and interchange. Back to the point. Stanton.
0 people.
Cross. Pass. Tip right on goal. There's a loose puck just cleared in the nick of time as Gordon goes down along the boards to Everly. Gordon Everly can't make a play with it. A bouncing puck just gets out past Sedin, who was covering at the blue line. Higgins was asked what Kessler looked like back then as a kid. He said he was as skinny as a coyote. He hadn't eaten in 3 days. I thought that was pretty
I've
good.
never had that problem.
Henrik Sadeen can't get it deep. Blocked by David Perron. He's got everybody
0 people.
win. They crisscross inside the zone. Perron shadowed by Henrik Sadeen. He gets a pass, but it goes into the corner. Justin Schultz dropping it back. Perron picking it up at the top of the circle. Fires it off the blockers of Luongo. Ferentz shot is tipped high into the glass. Arcabello there first for Edmonton. Bouncing it to Justin Schultz. To the captain, Ferentz. To Schultz. Back to Arcabello. He waits, fires it on goal. Traffic in front is blocked by Zanev en route to the Vancouver net.
0 people.
Andrews will pick it up as the Oilers back off And head for a change. There's a near turnover there as Matthews is pounced on by Yakupov, who's physical with him. Loose puck is kicked off by Arcabella, throwing it behind the Canuck goal. Matthews again is hit by Yakupov. Yakupov with another hit. This time on Daniel Sadeen. As Booth comes to center. He's got Kessler with him. David Booth, shot right on, stopped.
0 people.
Puck is cleared to the boards, but not out. Booth winning it right back inside the Edmonton zone. Smith waiting for it. He hacks at it. It's knocked high for a high stick at the blue line. To take your game to the next level with Hockey Night's second screen, interact and compete for cash prizes. Be a part of our broadcast. Engage with us at cbcsports.ca/second screen.
0 people.
The shots right now are 17-6 in favor of the Canucks in this 1-1 hockey game as Dubnyk has been tested time and time again in the first period.
He sure responded well after having a poor outing versus Winnipeg, and this is how your coach really hopes that you respond. He knows he's a fighter, and Devin is doing just that.
Delayed offside as the Canucks have to tag up, and it gives Belov room to come to center. The big Russian from the KHL.
0 people.
Zone. Stanton caught on the forecheck by Will Acton. It's kept into the blue line by Belov. There's a chance for Acton. It's blocked in front by Tana. That's his second block of the shift. And Tom Cicito will gain the line as the Canucks change and dump it in. Nick Schultz back for the Oilers. Ahead to Mike Brown. Brown, a long bounce pass off the end boards. Arcabello chasing it down. Jason Garrison, back pass to Kessler. Booth, rink wide.
0 people.
For Edler. Jumping again, and this will be hybrid icing. Devin Dubnyk, as you mentioned, Kelly, had a rough start in the home opener with a couple of soft goals.
And like I said, he is really responding with 16 saves. Take a look at his numbers. Keep coming down last 3 years. And here's an easy guy to cheer for, boy. I'll tell you what, he's through sheer hard work and determination, he's found himself in this position as the starting goalie for the Oilers.
Dallas Aikens had a chat with him at practice
0 people.
Thursday, and Aikens told us that he actually said to Devin, I'm thinking of making a change. And I wrote to Barbara, and he said he had a lot of fight in his voice. There's an offside coming here, a delayed offside. Waiting for Hensky to touch it. He won't. He'll back off until the Canucks will head up ice. But there's a lot of fight in Dubnyk's voice saying, give me another shot tonight. I'll prove you wrong. I'll prove to my teammates they can depend on me.
And that was the response that Dallas Aikens said he was looking for.
And so Dubnyk makes his 16th save
0
in his
people.
first period in a 1-1 hockey game in Vancouver. Gorgeous night in Vancouver as we remind you who will stay and who will go. Find out on the first elimination episode of the Battle of the Blades tomorrow at 8 on CBC. Point shot from Bieksa doesn't get through. He holds on to it, fires it again, this time off the stick to Boyd Gordon. Eberle will get it to center. Jordan Eberle playing on the third line tonight with Boyd Gordon and Jesse Joensuu, the big Finn who made a big impression in his first game as an Oiler on Tuesday night. Scored a goal in that game. It was very physical. Here comes Bieksa. Stopped by Schmid as he tried to enter the Oilers zone, and back goes Jannik Hansen. Across for Ryan Stanton, who was claimed off waivers on Monday from Chicago. Hansen takes it away from Yakupov. Darts inside the Edmonton zone. His shot is wide. It comes all the way around the boards. Waiting for it is Alex Edler. He'll send it in deep. Hansen in front. Santorelli with a chance, but I think Nick Schultz may have got his stick on it. Hansen again, protecting the puck. Now he loses his edge. 3 Oilers on him. Hansen taking them all on. Santorelli joining the fight as they muck for the puck. It comes back into the corner. Petrie shoots it to the near side. It gets away from Yakupov. It bounces back into the neutral zone. Santorelli touches it offside at the Oiler line.
Jannik Hansen continues his strong play this first period. Nice little pass right here to Santorelli. And just a good play by Nick Schultz to get a stick on that one, so Devin Dubnyk doesn't have to make a save. But Jannik Hansen's flying here today. Nice energy level with playing with the Sadeens right now. Mostly, anyways.
Santorelli was a 20-goal scorer a few years ago in Florida playing with David Booth, and they had planned to keep them united on a line here tonight until Burrows couldn't go, and they had to move Booth up. Here's Hemsky on a turnover. Hemsky in front looking for Hall. He bangs at it. It goes high to the near corner. Back up ice. Chris Higgins to center. Chipping and chasing. Hemsky back on the back check. Chops it along the board for Justin Schultz. The barging in is Kessler. The puck rolling to Higgins to the side of the goal, and Devin Dubnyk will hold on.
Zero people.
Canucks and Oilers tied at 1. Both teams still looking for their first win of this young season. Vancouver losing 4-1 on Thursday in San Jose, their 10th straight loss to the Sharks. And of course, Edmonton dropping a 5-4 home opener to Winnipeg after blowing a 2-goal lead. Barrett on the board to the near side. Eberle waits for the pass from Justin Schultz. He's checked by Dale Weiss. Weiss goes down. Here's Kessler. Fires high into the chest protector. It's chopped away by Sestito to the far side. Barrett again. Lost the puck to Kessler. Back on it. They jam away. Here's a chance off the crossbar as Sestito roofed it. It from the side of the goal.
Zero people.
Ryan Stanley directs it right on again. The 20th shot on goal in the first period for Vancouver. 2 minutes to go here in the opening frame. David Perron carries it inside the line and chips and chases. Jason Garrison is running to the boards by the gritty forward. Coming to Edmonton in that trade from St. Louis. Garrison along the board. Hansen loses the puck. Canucks recover. Daniel. Pass off the stick to Jannik Hansen and out of play with 1:36 to go here in the first.
The Edmonton Oilers need to get out of this period. There's 1:36 left, as you said, Mark, and it's giveaways again, and that's what's hurting them right here. Eberle along the boards, and it comes to Kessler. He gets a good chance right here. Dubnyk makes a save, and then Sestito right here. Another giveaway, and he shows pretty good hands right there. There's not much room to go up over the shoulder of Devin Dubnyk, but hits the crossbar.
And it was a long shot, and he scored!
Devin Dubnyk, but there's not much room to go up over the shoulder of Devin Dubnyk. First, about it, you know, a rolling puck like that to make this Dubnyk.
Not unlike the Jacob Trouba goal for Winnipeg. Here's another one, Henric Sadeen. His shot is blocked by Schmid. Taylor Hall back in his own end. He turns it over to Henrik. In front, Daniel back. Hansen scores! Oh! Taylor Hall back in his own end. He turns it over to Henrik. Shot is blocked by Schmid. The goal for Winnipeg. Here's another one, Henric Sadeen. His shot is blocked by Schmid. Taylor Hall back in his own end. He turns.
I like how Jannik Hansen has to do is now get open. Here's another giveaway right here. And that one-timer right here, but 2 giveaways by the Edmonton Oilers again in the last just almost 1 minute to go.
2 goals in 18 seconds for Hansen and Hansen for Vancouver. Giveaways and long-range goals is what sunk Edmonton in their home opener. Martello back up ice. In their home opener. Giveaways and long-range goals is what sunk Edmonton in their home opener.
Roberto Luongo. David Perron didn't take a long time to get this shot off. Perron, like I said, one of the few Oilers shot. Pretty tough to go with Jeff Petrie, so good focus and concentration by Luongo.
And then pass to Richardson. We got a fight in behind the play. Will Acton and Ryan Kessler are going at it, and they're still getting on the ice. Canada for the last 30 years. Zero people. Still leading 1-0. With blood beginning to boil, the Oilers showing frustration, allowing 2 quick goals inside of 18 seconds. Here late in the first period, dropping to a 3-1 deficit to the Canucks. in the first period. Oilers are dropping a lot into a 3-1 deficit here to get up.
0 people.
This is a great deal. There's nothing better than putting your adrenaline going. Remind you that the game started at 7 o'clock and not 8 o'clock local time. So this has been a poor period by the Edmonton Oilers. He's got to do something to get the pieces flowing, get back into this game emotionally. Back to power play Browns, and the Browns in there. Take a look how this starts the pressure and acting right off the face-off.
0 people.
There you go.
Both missing was the haymakers early when they get down on the ice.
Neither knows to be in a fighter. Just I think that after knowing that he's got a role, he's a fourth-line guy on this team, and find a way to spark it. Why not go after one of the better Vancouver Canucks?
30 minutes. 30 minutes. 41. Pause. 30 minutes. Third pause recording. But
See the exchange between Luongo and Prong after that great glove save. There's Prong. He's known for going at goaltenders.
0 people.
In my opinion, in a good way. Well, he's a bit of an agitator that way. Let it be known that Luongo is going to be in his face the entire night, the entire season. We saw that last year, Mark, in the playoffs versus LA and Jonathan Quick. He was quick to go to the front of the net.
After the Oilers, they need some guys that are willing to get their noses dirty and get in there and get gritty. Look at the chirping and the grousing going on right now between the benches. As the Canucks
0 people.
are reveling in their 3-1 lead. And Luke put it in a basket. The slugger don't go for it.
They scored 4 periods of this whole season.
The top. John Tortorella wanting to see more pace in his team, more grit, and Dallas Aikens vowing his team wouldn't be pushed around anymore in this building. And they've had a weak first period here.
I'm not sure if the two coaches are looking at
0
each
people.
other right now. We saw a little bit of that earlier in the week with Patrick Roy and Bruce Boudreau. I think it'd be pretty difficult sometimes when you're coaching these teams to try and stay out of it.
Kessler and Acton get 5 minutes each for fighting as the Oilers clear it down the ice. Jason Garrison leaves it to Henric Sadeen, smartly ahead to Edler, waiting for it at the line of his
0 people.
Sadeen. He couldn't get his stick right, but he'll keep the air on the puck. Speed, pressed along the boards by Edler. Hansen gets it free to Henrik, back to Hansen. Back pass to Garrison, who takes it on his backhand. Jason Garrison to the circle. More pressure here for Vancouver. Henrik Sadeen's pass broken up. Boyd Gordon will get it down the ice. But that'll do it here in a one-sided first period for the home team.
0 people.
The Canucks headed this period in Edmonton 22-8. And 2 big goals inside of 18 seconds by Vancouver led to this exchange as John Tortorella over 30 seconds by Andrews and Hansen led to this exchange as John Tortorella got worked up and was finger pointing and throwing some invective at the Oilers coaching staff.
Wow, now that's passion right there.
Throwing some invective at the Oilers
0 people.
coaching staff.
Wow, now that's passion right there, isn't it?
Keith Acton returning the hairy eyeball in an interesting first period. 3-1 Vancouver. Now, the Studio 42 and run and done. Canucks and Oilers back on the ice to start this second period, and the penalty box is full. There were a total of 6 penalties called near the end of that first period, so the Canucks have a 5-on-4 power play, with Edmonton taking the extra minor.
0 people.
Will Acton has 5 for fighting and 2 for roughing. Brown, 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. Kessler got 5 for fighting, and Ryan Stanley got 2 for roughing. So you add it all up, and Vancouver, with momentum and a 2-goal lead, is on the power play. Edler into the corner. Long pass gets by Jason Garrison from Daniel Sadeen, and he's going to back up into his own zone.
They did a great puck movement in the first period on the power play.
0 people.
The final shot by Jason Garrison.
Daniel shot bouncing off the pad. Who stays in his hockey game and goal for Edmonton. Edler along the boards, tipped to Hansen. Henric back to Garrison, a one-timer, the puck is loose. Hansen keeps it on, and it's a return from Daniel Sadeen, and fans on it. And the Oilers will relieve a little pressure.
0 people.
25 seconds to go into Vancouver to power play.
Hansen sure fits in well with the Sadeens, doesn't he, Mark? Wow, great puck support. Great to see.
Pass on the right wing, Mike Sandarelli. Trouble to is beaten with essentially. Downstairs in your spot.
Okay, Mark, Edmonton assistant Steve Smith says momentum started switching in the first period on bad penalties by the Oilers. There's good penalties, there's bad penalties. The one the Oilers
0 people.
was bad. Another thing about Edmonton players were told between periods was to be more physical on their own end. Smith says the Oilers are letting the Canucks off the hook. As for the closest exchange at the end of the first, he pleaded the fifth. Says he was talking to the defenseman and didn't hear him.
The cone of silence there, the glass.
That's a KG veteran right there.
Penalty to Yakupov is over. He was
Take
serving
picture.
the extra
Pause
mark with
recording.
2 shots on goal. 5 seconds to go in the Vancouver power play.
Hansen sure fits in well with the Sadeens, doesn't he, Mark? Wow, great puck support. Great to see.
Standing early in this.
Pass on the right wing, Mike Sandarelli.
0 people.
Charges, fires, Newton makes the
He's not worried
save.
about Tamburini
And holds
because he knows
on
he's going to
to
get
the
help from his defense.
Downstairs, and here's Scott.
Okay, Mark, Edmonton assistant Steve Smith says the momentum started switching in the first period on bad penalties by the Oilers. There's good penalties, there's bad penalties. The ones the Oilers took for the most part was bad. Another thing about Edmonton players were told between periods was to be more physical on their own end. Smith says the Oilers are letting the Canucks off the hook.
Booth again. Takes a hit from Justin Schultz. It's
0 people.
up by Ferentz, who played along the boards. Yakupov plays the man, leaves the puck right for the exit. Bouncing shot into the corner. Higgins is there. Sandarelli pokes it free. Paul on the puck. Hamby's pinching. He's caught up ice as Schultz tries to jump the rush. He can't find the puck and just misses a hit from Chris Higgins. Back the other way. The exit at center. Flipping it high on goal. Dubnik will glove it and hold on for another faceoff.
0 people.
You surprised he's back in goal?
No, I'm not. I think you've got to give him a chance to fight through this with his teammates. Boyd Gordon's struggling on the bench a little bit. Here's why. Blocks his shot. See, he did a great job versus Winnipeg in that first game as an Edmonton Oiler. And then Higgins is going on the bench a little bit. Here's why. Blocks his shot. See, he did a great job versus Winnipeg in that first game as an Edmonton Oiler. And then Higgins is going to have a chance right here. Just puts it wide.
Canucks are really beating the Oilers with their puck movement in the Oilers zone.
Oilers have no forecheck right now. Vancouver, to their credit, great puck movement.
There's another shot that Dubnik couldn't track immediately and had to quickly cover.
Well, he's under siege here. 24 shots already. And we're only 22 minutes into the game. So that's a pretty easy one that he handled right there. But these guys are in survival mode right now. They're just all going to fight through as a team and find a way to do it together because Vancouver is obviously not going to let them off the mat right now. Vancouver, to their credit again, they've come out ready to start the second period.
Arcobello gets the draw, then gets a weird bounce and gloves it to center. Belov is stopped by Tito as Luongo steadies the puck behind his goal. Canada, the rink wide pass up the left side. The tough shot. Tito on the ice now for Vancouver. Dale Weiss
0
on
people.
the boards, jamming away with some help from Richardson. Tanev pinching. Arcobello has to go the other way, and here comes Edler to cut it off at the pass. Brad Richardson with that short-handed marker passes it right through the slot. It comes to Chris Tanev. Tanev shot is blocked by Eberle. He's racing for it, but out to make the play is Luongo. Edler has it get away from him. It goes right to Taylor Hall. His pass is right on the tape of Tito, and another Oiler giveaway.
0 people.
We'll get it deep and head for a change. Henric Sadeen leading it for Daniel. Daniel's shot from a sharp angle, stopped by Dubnik. Henric again. This time it comes right to Ryan Smith playing his 1200th NHL hockey game tonight.
What a career.
Almost 20 goal seasons and at 37 getting a chance to open the season on the first line. Here comes Henric Sadeen. He's got Hansen going hard to the net, but a good stick check from Jeff Petrie to break it up. Hall back in his own zone. Throws it rink
0
wide
people.
to the left wing. And Ryan Smith will softly chip it inside the zone. Luongo gets it to the corner. Smith overskates it. Henric Sadeen trying to haul it out. It comes to Hansen. He'll play it across to Hamuse. To center it comes. Henric takes a big hit at center, but the Canucks get it back in the zone. They'll get a quick change as Boyd Gordon comes to center. He'll gain the center red line and chip it in the zone. Stanley's there, lined up by Gazdic.
Zero people.
Luke Gazdic fighting for the puck with Johansson. It comes free to Richardson. And he'll skate it to the line. Across to Tanev. Booth pounces on it. A pass in front. Broken up on the play by Justin Schultz. He headmans it to Gazdic. Rink wide for Johansson, the big Finn. He had that great first game, but he's nursing a sore back here tonight. And they called up Ryan Hamilton from the minors just in case he couldn't go.
Yeah.
Harris back in his own zone.
Zero people.
Turns it over to Booth. Booth in front for Duffy. He can't make a play with it. And Perron comes up ice with Arcabello. David Perron leaves it for the center. Perron to the net. Fires a hard shot. Blocker save. Arcabello can't get the good wood on the rebound. And Perron trying to control the puck. He loses it. Jason Garrison comes out the other side of the net. Ahead to Weber, the defenseman playing up front tonight. Yannick Weber's shot misses the net. It bounces to the near boards. Edler in deep again. It comes around to the far
Zero people.
corner. Weber pushing Nick Schultz off the puck. Garrison fires it off the blocker of Dubas. Higgins now holding the puck. Vancouver trying to control it again inside the Oilers zone. Bieksa kicks it ahead. At the circle, Weber's shot doesn't get through, and finally Eberle turning in his own end away from Weber will regroup. Nick Schultz back to Eberle. Rink wide to Bellon. He'll throw it off the boards to the Vancouver line. And Perron will stop at the line.
Zero people.
Too many men on the ice for Edmonton as Eberle just gets inside the gate. Here comes Chris Higgins. Higgins setting up, fires a shot right on. Vancouver throwing every opportunity. A shot on goal at Dubnik. That's 26 shots now. Henrik back to the point. Hamuse in front and it's tipped off. Belov's stick just wide. Edmonton running around in its own end, trying to find the puck. Now they corral it. It's Taylor Hall up ice with Yakupov, but a stick in the lane from Hamuse breaks it up. It goes off Hansen.
Zero people.
Right on goal. Nick Schultz throws the puck away. It goes through the skates of Weiss right to Hall. A 2-on-1 with Yakupov. Hall holds the puck, cuts to the slot. Can't get the shot away. Caught by Weiss in the back check, and then he's run hard into the boards. Remember, Dale Weiss took a headshot in the preseason at Hall, but a penalty is coming here to Taylor Hall after the fact. Hall running Weiss into the boards. He's going directly to the penalty box. And
Zero people.
Vancouver tough guy looks shaken up, but all right after taking this shot launched into the boards by Hall. He's going to the penalty box. Sporting Cup. After perhaps taking a license plate number down.
Well, Taylor Hall gets a chance here. Dale Weiss with a great back check right there. Now, Taylor Hall finishes off a little bit harder than the referees like. Now, is that because of this incident in preseason, September 21st? Will you be the judge? I don't think it was, even though he saw the number that it was Dale Weiss. I don't think that was hard enough to conclude that that was a retaliatory play.
Weiss got a 3-game suspension in the preseason for that headshot. Canucks on the power play. A deflection by Daniel in front. It's kept in by Jason Garrison. Vancouver 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. Boyd Gordon fencing for the puck. It's sent the other way by Daniel Sadeen to Henrik. Back to Daniel, the side of the goal. He's got the loose puck back to his brother. The captain, Henrik, saunters it back to the blue line.
Zero people.
Edler to the circle, towards the net, is blocked by Schmid. Kessler pounces on it for the Canucks. Feathers it back to the line. Edler rink wide, Garrison tipping it to the boards. Henrik down low for Daniel. Back to Henrik. Swiftly to Garrison. His shot through traffic and it squirts wide on the deflection. Henrik again. Leaves it for Daniel. Daniel to the left side. At the circle, Edler. Henrik. Daniel scores! Oh, what a thing of beauty! Again. Leaves it for
Zero
Daniel.
people.
Daniel to the left side. Wide on the deflection. Henrik again. Leaves it for Daniel. Daniel to the left side. At the circle, Edler. In. Leaves it for Daniel. Daniel to the left side. At the circle, Edler. Henrik. Daniel scores! It's wide on the deflection. Henrik again. Leaves it for Daniel. Daniel to the left side. At the circle, Edler. And swiftly to Garrison. His shot through traffic and it squirts wide on the deflection.
Zero people.
thinking that Henric...
5, their scoring chances with 10-2, 5 on 5. And then they get the power play and make good. Danielson, the boards, is knocked down by Arcavello, right to be. Duquesne. In. Justin Schultz in front, tied up. Exit, but turns it over to Kessler. And Santarelli will get it to center. His pass goes off the stick of Jordan Eberle. Back to the neutral zone. Yakubov knocks it down. It goes right to Kessler. He gets it deep again.
0 people.
Shots are 29-9 now in favor of Vancouver. Hall reaching for the puck. Headmans it over the stick of Yakubov. Edler back. Rink wide pass. Tanev can't find it. Here's Hemsky pouncing on the forecheck. Along the boards. Yakubov digs it free for Edmonton. Finds Belov at the point. Belov, a shot through traffic. It squirts through. Luongo can't find it. It is tied up in the equipment of Alex Edler.
Take a look at
0
the
people.
goal again. Just how well the Sadeens work together, and they have for
People.
years.
Now, The Guardian. The U.S. drew up a plan to invade Canada in 1930. Now Trump is reviving old fears. Attachment.
Miracle pass by Henric, knowing that Daniel's going to be there. This is how well they complement each other. Take a look at numbers. In this case, numbers don't lie. That's a great duo right there. And on the power play, when Kessler's looking, or whether it's on a regular shift with Hansen, they're just magical tonight.
Daniel has his first goal of the season. Henric with 3 assists tonight. 4 so far
0 people.
on the season. Perron boxed along the boards. Smead is pinching a little chin music to Hansen. Smead again is caught up ice. Perron covering him in the neutral zone. Chopped by Ryan Smith right to Daniel Sadeen, and he headmans it to Hansen. Hansen throws it to an open corner. Jeff Petrie is there first for Edmonton. Quickly ahead, Arcavello into the skates of Ryan Smith. Smith can't find it, now he turns and
0 people.
fires a harmless shot wide of Luongo. Along the boards, Arcavello, that crafty AHL centerman, is rushed out of the play by Tanev. And they muck for it in the neutral zone. Perron caught on the check, and there's a penalty coming here. A hooking call to Vancouver. And Yannick Hansen is being escorted to the penalty box.
David Braun's pretty crafty.
0 people.
Across the line right here, and Hansen just gets his stick in there. And, well, I think Braun embellishes just a little bit, but nonetheless, and Hansen still definitely gets his stick in there. And so the Oilers go on the power play. They've got to find a little bit of energy here and start competing for loose pucks. That's really one of the reasons why they're down 4-1 and being outshot 29-9.
In the corner, Smith tips it to Taylor Hall. Hall is boxed in by Higgins. It's chipped back
0
to the
people.
point. Yakupov, rink wide for Schultz. Justin Schultz towards the net, shoots a high wrist shot off the blocker of Luongo. And it's cleared back down the ice. Edmonton is 0 for 1 in the power play tonight. They had 2 power play goals in the season opener. Boyd Gordon and Jesse Johansson scoring for Edmonton with the man advantage in that 5-4 loss to Winnipeg. Schultz dropping it. Hemsky across for Hall. Hall throwing it around the boards. Hemsky pressing along with
0 people.
Yakupov behind the net. Hall to the point. Justin Schultz leaves it for Yakupov. The Oilers now moving the puck a lot better, but it's broken up. It comes right to Yakupov down low. Pass at the side of the goal by Ryan Smith. He jammed and fumbled at it, and now they push and shove after the whistle again as Luongo scoops it up.
Roberto Luongo with great anticipation right here. You know, one of the things about being a
0 people.
top goaltender like Luongo, you have to read the play. That's what he does on this one right here. The Oilers are going to get it down low to Ryan Smith, and he recognized there's an open Oiler right there, but Luongo takes away that passing lane. That's pretty good hockey right there. Take a look at his numbers last year, especially his .907 save percentage. That was his lowest number since his rookie season. So you can tell that last year was an anomaly for him, and he still is a top elite goaltender in the league.
0 people.
A shot, the rebound quickly covered up by Luongo as he took that high in the chest and grabbed it before Eberle could make anything of it.
Sure, you'd like a little more work. Now maybe going to get a little bit here on the power play, but
Kelly, he was saying, he's motivated by winning, but he's really motivated at trying to reestablish himself as the top goalie in this league, having to settle as the backup last year to Corey Schneider, then going through all that trade drama that never happened as they traded Schneider to New Jersey and had to get back and work
0 people.
Get Luongo, his head and his game back together here in Vancouver. Belov's shot is tipped high and out of play with 42 seconds to go in the penalty to Hansen.
You know, he's so strong mentally, Roberto Luongo, and I'm in awe every time I watch him at the morning skate. You know, he puts in, I asked him, what's an ideal amount of time? He said about 20, 25 minutes, rolling him on, and the goalie coach is saying, sometimes you got to basically throw him off the ice because he
0 people.
wants to work at his game so much. Loves a rebound drill at the end of practice to get him focused and so on. And he's just a guy that, for whatever reason, he likes the morning skates, and he tried not to go on the morning skate a couple times and just hated it. So it's a good formula that works for him.
The plan is for Luongo to play 65 games this year. He's done that once in the last 5 seasons. Arcabello smothered by Edler, but he gets it back to Perron. Bell
0 people.
in a circle with it. Eberle now turns, goes towards the net as he leaves it for Arcabello, takes the return pass, keeps the cycle going, off the skate of Garrison to Arcabello. He chops it back to the blue line. Perron gets it back in deep. 10 seconds to go in the Edmonton power play as Higgins loses an edge. It's scooped up by Arcabello. Arcabello's pass goes off the stick to Garrison to the far side. Boyd Gordon leaves it down for Eberle. Across to Arcabello. The penalty is over to Hansen. 2 shots on goal
0 people.
from the Oilers power play as Vancouver gets back to full strength. Belov, a bouncing puck. He steadies it, holds onto it, throws it towards the net, and it's tipped out of play by Jordan Eberle. We'll take a break. It's all Vancouver. 4-1 lead here in the second period.
Time for our Subway Restaurants bio. When people think of John Tortorella, they think of his combative relationship with the media and how he's trying to change things in Vancouver. That
0 people.
ongoing saga overshadows how he's paid his dues. This is what he looked like for the better part of 3 years, playing for the University of Maine from 78 to 81. After that, played a year in Sweden, then 4 years in the minors in places like Erie, Hampton, Virginia, Nashville. He's won a Stanley Cup as a coach, and more than anything, this Vancouver job is about winning another one, but it's also about an image makeover. Mark.
Yes, from all accounts, he was a gritty, hard-nosed forward in the minors.
Would you expect anything less with that
0 people.
personality?
And Kelly, he was here's a shot in front, another chance by Weiss, and he was getting ugly this morning, too, with the media. Game 2 of the season. Get a little upset about the question about Burrows getting hurt blocking a shot. Of course, Jordan Schrader's already out with a foot fracture for blocking a shot. And he made it perfectly clear that if Burrow's not done that, he'd never be on the penalty kill again.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to change his coaching philosophy just because of a couple of injuries.
0 people.
Gazdic trying to scoop the puck up. He's checked at center ice by Tanev. Eberle ahead. Arcabello in. What a save by Luongo! Point blank.
Really one of the only good chances the Oilers have had, even though they have one on the board from Petrie, but wonderful pass from Jordan Eberle to spot Arcabello. He's trying to get the puck to settle down right here, and he gets a really good shot off right there that gave Roberto Luongo a lot of problems right there, but is able to find it in his equipment.
Arcabello centered Hall and Eberle in Oklahoma City during the lockout, and that was a prolific combination. And Arcabello ended up leading the Barons in scoring last season with 68 points and getting a chance to play center with the injuries at center to Sam Gagner coming back from jaw surgery, and of course
0 people.
Nugent Hopkins, who we now learn will be back Monday at home against New Jersey as he recovers from nearly 6 months after shoulder surgery. Here come the Sadeens again. Henric cutting in and fires a high shot into the chest protector of Dubnyk. Now Hansen mucking it up with David Perron. He gave Perron a shot to the face, and then they danced again. So Hansen showing some grit here tonight once again.
0 people.
So the Sadeens get another chance. No surprise with that right here. Henric just backtracks right there. Gets a shot, and Devin Dubnyk makes a pretty easy save here. Daniel Sadeen earlier, though, was talking to assistant coach Mike Sullivan and new coaches with the players. A little bit of stuff to learn, and Glenn Gulletson over the left shoulder Mike Sullivan right there, so even the veteran players are trying to find a way with new coaches, including John Tortorella. Tortorella was telling us this morning
0 people.
that they're all trying to figure each other out right about now.
Hansen and Perron. Perron using a wrestling move, shooting for the leg there on Hansen. And they'll both be off for roughing at 13:29.
Perron's had quite an edge tonight.
Here's Hall, takes the puck from a prone Garrison in front for Yakupov, and he was tied up on the play. A good back check by Higgins. Gets away from Hall
0
on the
people.
board. Garrison up the left wing. Higgins ahead, Kessler to center for Vancouver. Kessler, a long shot that misses. Schultz turns it over, right back to Kessler. Wrist shot, scores! Another long shot, goal against. A good back check by Higgins. Gets away from Hall along the boards. Garrison up the left wing. Higgins ahead, Kessler to center for Vancouver.
0 people.
Garrison up the left wing. Higgins ahead, Kessler to center for Vancouver. Kessler, a long shot that misses. Schultz turns it over, right back to Kessler. Wrist shot!
Long shot right here. Losing. This one to me. Like get in there. You are going to give up goals.
That's a smart move by the head coach. Consider this could be really tough after building like Kuzma.
0 people.
Final year of his contract, Kelly. He's 27, clearly at the crossroads of his career. And here come the Canucks again.
And you're trying to impress a new coach. Every player has that feeling.
Kessler savors his goal. And a goal. It's been an outstanding night for Ryan Kessler, who now lacks only an assist for the Gordie Howe hat-trick.
First 35 minutes have been brilliant. This is the Ryan Kessler that we saw a couple years ago. Throwing his body around, great
0 people.
playmaking, going to the front of the net, battling hard. Fighting, which I guess we don't see often from Ryan Kessler, but that laser wrist shot as well. Hopefully he's healthy and good to go for the rest of the season for the Canucks.
Oilers now have given up 10 goals against in less than 2 games. There's Sandarelli, and he tests Jason LaBarbera, who makes his first save in relief. A great new season of
0 people.
Commercial Report begins. Watch the premiere Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on CBC television. A festive move here in the Rogers Arena. The home team up 5-1, out shooting Edmonton 32-13, dominating every inch of ice. Yes, Van Hamhuis backhanding into the corner. Sandarelli has it pop off his stick. Back on it now. Keeps the
0
second
people.
one with David Booth. Booth comes off the board. Goes wide around Justin Schultz, holding the puck. His shot deflects off Henschke into the glass. Sandarelli back to Booth. Down low to Sandarelli. He walks in front, can't get the backhand away. Bieksa was looking for a goal. And Henschke up ice with Justin Schultz, who jumps into the rush. Henschke right back at Martin. He scores! Boyd, he jumps into the rush. Henschke right back at Martin. Henschke
0
up
people.
ice with Justin Schultz, who jumps into the net. Best penalty killer, and he's got him in the defensive role. Take Eric Delange's spot, but he's been offensive. With 2 goals so far, and Edmonton now finding his stride. Petry's shot is blocked by Jason Garrison, and will
Take pause recording. But
ice with Justin Schultz, who jumps into the rush. Henschke right back at Martin.
0 people.
Period. Score. This all started. Edmonton.
It's 5-2.
This all starts in the Oilers zone right in front where there's a loose puck. Santos goes to the front of the net.
About areas of improvement.
And then yes, I think she's going to have a chance to get in there and get that loose puck. And then obviously just
much better
nice patience right here.
5 for 5.
Recognizes the Gordon is coming in late.
They were so much better killing penalties than they were against San Jose in
0
so
people.
many different areas, hence the 5 for 5.
Looking out of the penalty box, no step up there, but Mike obviously much better
Scores
goal.
his second goal in as many games for the Edmonton Oilers, and
They
it's
were so much
5-2.
better killing penalties than they were against San Jose in
This all
so
starts
many different
in the
areas,
Oilers
hence
zone
the
right in
5
front where
for
there's a loose puck.
Better-
Santorelli goes to the. This all starts Well, James, off the top, we talked about
Scores
Henric
his
Sadeen.
second goal in as
Want to
many
stay out of
games
the
for the
last
Edmonton
one,
Oilers, and it's
check mark there,
5-2.
but Mike, obviously,
0 people.
much better.
This all starts
in the Oilers zone right in front where there's a loose puck.
They were so much better zone counters than they were against San Jose in so many different areas, hence the 5 for 5. Aggression at the right time, you guys jump in the cycle, knowing when guys are in trouble, winning battles along the
You're Luongo to go down.
Gordon was signed as a free agent of Phoenix. 2 consecutive years there. He was their best faceoff man and best penalty killer, and was brought in the
0 people.
role to take Eric Boulanger spot. But he's been offensive with 2 goals so far, and Edmonton now finding its stride. Petrie's shot is blocked by Jason Garrison, and he'll come to center with the puck. Shipping it on goal, spears side to Barbara. He's tied up by Ference. Petrie in banging as well. Richardson trying to hold the puck along the boards. Now Everly tries to dig it through. Back and forth. Spade work.
0 people.
Scrum along the boards. It comes free to Perron. Quickly outlets to Taylor Hall. Back to Perron. Petrie joins the run. Hall wants the puck. Reaching for it. Bounces off his stick. He plays it back to Everly. Everly holding on to it, away from Cicito. Perron goes down as he's checked by Tanev. Chris Tanev racing up the left side. The center, he'll chip it in the zone and head for a change. Schultz outlets to Hemsky. Hemsky full block.
0 people.
Goes off the stick and out of play, and a big hit is Cicito. And Smead get their gloves up. And Justin Schultz was plowed into the corner boards by the Canuck enforcer. So he's going to the box.
Well, I think it's Justin Schultz right here. Cicito comes in. Puts him shoulder to shoulder.
0 people.
He is a big man, Cicito, and there's a lot of force coming at him right here. And Schmidt comes in to let him know that the Oilers won't put up with that.
So roughing minor to Cicito and Schultz. Well, what's no word on the where. The final. Cicito chatting words with Smead.
He's been pretty vocal tonight, hasn't he, Cicito? First period we saw him
0
on
people.
the bench talking to the Edmonton Oilers, and now going at it with Smead.
A pair of roughing penalties for Smead and Cicito as they beat at each other in the penalty box. And 4-on-4 hockey now. 3.5 to go here in the second period. And Edler hauls it to center. Petrie turns and chases it. Daniel Sadeen on the forecheck. Ference takes the pass to Petrie. The Hall back to Ference
0 people.
as the Canucks back off to mid-ice. The Oiler captain will race inside the Vancouver zone, tipping and chasing himself. A shot on Edler. In comes Perron, takes the puck away from Garrison. David Perron, a bounce pass to Ference. Ference towards the net, it gets through. Luongo diving on the loose puck for a whistle.
A little bit of traffic from this one right here from Ference. See, there's a couple layers of
0
traffic
people.
in front. Luongo trying to find a beat on that one right there. Although it's not a hard shot, it's a difficult thing when you're trying to see through the player's legs. That went right through Alex Edler's legs.
15th shot on goal for Edmonton tonight. 32 for Vancouver so far. And Kessler tips it in.
0 people.
Ball off, shoulder check. Kessler hard in the forecheck, takes it from Justin Schultz, still on the puck to the near side. Kessler holding on to the puck. Schultz can't do anything about it. Kessler the other way, along the boards. Leaving it now for Bieksa.
1 hour.
Bieksa
Pause. 1 hour.
attacking
3
it
minutes.
in
Pause
front.
record.
Down
Pause recording.
goes, and LaBarbera gets the paddle down to make the save for Edmonton.
I'll give an example, Mark, of why this game is
0 people.
5-2 for Vancouver. This is far too easy for Vancouver. They dumped the puck in. Higgins went after it. Then it's all Kessler after that. They just stripped Justin Schultz of the puck. And then Vancouver, they just want the puck more than Edmonton right now. And then the ever-aggressive Kevin Getzer loses his point spot, taps the net to get a good scoring chance right there. And that's just, right there, that's just wanting the puck or not wanting it.
Oilers are doing a lot of standing around in their own zone. Beverly,
Zero
away
people.
from Booth, towards the net, a low shot, it's a rebound, and it pops over top of Luongo prone, and Hall in front. Nick Schultz for Everly, down low, Hall back in front, it gets over Petrie's stick, and Edmonton will have to come back outside the line. Nick Schultz backing up in his own zone. Petrie returns the pass. And now Nick Schultz back to Jeff Petrie, swinging at the puck.
Zero people.
And it's sent back outside the line by Hansen. Perron to Yakupov. Out of the box is Speed with Mosquito. Perron overskates the puck. Mosquito gets it off the boards and out. At center, Meade sends it right back to the line. It's knocked down. Mosquito bringing it in the zone, still on it, fires. It's a big rebound. Hansen's there, and Booth. And the Barbara looking for the puck, but it didn't get past him.
Zero people.
Down low again. Final minute here of the second period. Meade around the board. Santorelli cuts it off.
To the Stanley Cup final.
Henric Sadeen walking forward. Meade trying to hit it along the boards and comes free. Perron takes the pass from Yakupov, trying to hold on to it.
Look at Schultz.
Down he goes to the check from Santorelli. Here comes the Canucks again. Jamming, Bolton puts it in front. Jamming is Santorelli. Can't get a clean shot. The exit towards the net. It's tipped behind the net. Santorelli around the board.
Zero people.
Henric Sadeen along the board, holding on to it. Smith comes in to break it up as Daniel goes down. David Perron trying to get it past Andrews and can't. Vancouver with possession again. Daniel Sadeen with 15 seconds to go in the period. It bounces behind the net to Santorelli. A delayed penalty coming to Edmonton as Perron comes out. There's the Sadeen and Kessler for Vancouver. Off the clock here in the second.
Zero people.
Perron as the waning seconds tick off the clock here in the second period, so Vancouver will earn the third of the power play. Outshooting Edmonton 34-15. Daniel Sadeen and Kessler for Vancouver in the second. Boyd Gordon answering for Edmonton.
5-2 Canucks to start the third period. The Oilers return home tonight to face New Jersey on Monday night, and they'll welcome Ryan Nugent-Hopkins back from shoulder surgery. Really welcome back, I guess, by the way this game has gone tonight. Ryan, this will be about 2 weeks earlier than you were forecast.
Power play.
Talking earlier about how deflated the Oilers got after they were scored on last year. Are you seeing that tonight?
I mean, a little bit. I think the guys can get a little bit frustrated at times, and I mean, we can't do that. I mean, if we get down to a goal or two, we just got to keep the pressure up and not let it affect us too much.
Tough game to watch. And
Zero people.
I can imagine how badly you want to be up there trying to make a difference. Thanks for your time.
All right, thanks a lot.
To Mark Lee and Kelly Rudy for the third.
Thank you, Scott. The Canucks starting this third period on the power play with David Perron in the box. They're holding the stick. And you have to wonder, with Taylor Hall struggling in 2 games now as a centerman, he's -4 tonight, whether he'll go back to the wing on Monday night against the Devils when Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is scheduled to return.
And -5 in these 2 games, Mark. So it wouldn't surprise
Zero
me
people.
really if Taylor Hall goes back on the wing when Nugent-Hopkins comes back. You know, it's today is not a good day for Taylor Hall. I thought that at points during the preseason he was making progress as a center. I like the experiment, but clearly there's something amiss right now, and you know they're going to need wins desperately, and that starts Monday versus New Jersey, as Scott said, and best way to do that is put people in familiar positions.
Canucks are 1 for 4 on the power play
Zero people.
tonight. Daniel Sadeen scoring in the second period. In overtime, here's Edler across the line, reaching his Kessler. He fires it right on goal. The Barbara making the save. Joining this game in the second period after Devin Dubnik was pulled, allowing 5 goals on 31 shots. Daniel Sadeen to Kessler in the near corner. To the blue line. Edler through traffic, a high wrist shot into the glass. 30 seconds now in the
Zero people.
power play. Edler again, dropping it. A blast by Garrison is blocked up high. Gordon rushing to the puck. It comes free along the boards. Henric Sadeen to his brother Daniel on the side of the goal. Daniel patiently back to Henric in front for Kessler. He's taken down, can't get the shot. Daniel again along the board, turning away from Hall, leaving it for Kessler. Canucks toying with the puck. Now they lose it. And Gordon firing it to the line is knocked down by Garrison. The penalty to Perron is over. 2 shots on goal with the Canuck power play. Gordon will put it back down the ice, and the tired penalty kill unit heads to the Oiler bench. Kevin Bieksa leaves it up ice for Hansen, who tips it to center. Perron backhanding to Arcabello. Back to Perron. Perron in off the side of the goal with a shot, and Luongo will cover it up with his catching hand.
0 people.
Ryan Kessler, we keep saying, has had a terrific game right here. It's a shot right here, and this is just way too easy where he just goes in and easily gets the puck back once more. And that's why Vancouver's nursing a 5-2 lead here. Now they're trying to get a little bit too fancy maybe. Boyd Gordon makes a great play on Kessler, but at some point, Henrik should have maybe shot that one.
Canucks hoping Kessler can stay healthy this year. 8 shots he's had so far tonight as LeBarbaro throws it back to center. Played only 17 games last year, missed 31 to injury. And a couple of tough seasons for him. Eberle. Caught up in the check by Sabrielli. Now he regains control and drops it back to Anton Bella. Ahead to Yakupov. Yakupov pass off the boards. Eberle has to wait for it. Puts it ahead to Justin Schultz. Schultz shoots off the goalpost as he jumped the run, showing his offensive flash. Reese will drift it back down the ice with a great chance there for Justin Schultz. Bella ahead to Williamson. He's checked by Galter. Gazdic sends it back in.
No, Rust suspended. Penguins forward Ryan Rust banned 3 games for illegal trade. Canucks forward Brock Besser.
Throws it behind the net. LeBarbaro waiting. Down Weber on the forecheck. Smartly out is Will Ackman. Fourth liners.
0 people.
Keep it up though as Castillo gets it to the line. Weber lined up by Brown. And the play is whistled down at the line as they push in Chavez, Castillo, and Gazdic are going to go to the 2 sluggers. Finally blew at the glass, and Gazdic take a couple of shots. Then his helmet is popped off by a right by Castillo. Gazdic takes another shot. And Simone on the bigger Vancouver Canucks. Gazdic got them down. They both go to their knees. And the linesman will break it up.
Gazdic did the same Tuesday versus Winnipeg going after Thornburn. You know, you got to make your presence felt. That's why Texas Stars felt that they're really going to miss him. The Will Desjardins is saying that Gazdic can be a player too. Now here's a good scoring chance by the Oilers.
0 people.
Schultz Eberle with a great pass. Just crossbar, just over the glove of Roberto Luongo. You know, Eberle had a good chance right at the start of the period too. Similar shot to what Justin Schultz took right there. It was a short-handed attempt, so Eberle showing off his skills in the third period.
Shows Justin Schultz, one all rookie defenseman, showing last year with 27 points. But he also was a minus 17 at worst in the Oilers, and there's the compromises. He still learns with a
0 people.
Kessler with a wicked wrist shot. Goes around the line. 5 each for fighting to Gazdic and Castillo. They cool off in the penalty box. Justin Schultz headlands to Hall. On to Yakupov. Nail Yakupov going wide. His shot high and stopped by Luongo. No rebound. Downstairs, and here's Scott.
Hey, Mark, just to make things a little bit tougher for the Oilers in the third. Yes, the UNC didn't come out to start the third period, and
0
he
people.
will not return. I think you'd mentioned earlier that Ryan Hamilton had been called out from Oklahoma City in the event that UNC couldn't go tonight. They were a bit concerned about him, so whatever the element was, it appears to have cleared up, and he's not coming back tonight.
Notice he had, Scott, only a minute 46 of ice time in the second period. We saw him this morning working hard in the hallway trying to stretch that back. But it's down in tonight. And it's a big loss and a big hole for the Oilers. He was one of their better
0
players
people.
on opening night. If not their best player. Arcabello on the back check takes it from Booth. Schultz. Justin Fitz, rink wide for Ryan Smith. He fires it in the Canucks zone. At the double hard of the forecheck. Here comes Smith. It gets past him, and the Canucks are back up ice. The exhale across the line. Drops it for Kessler. Kessler, a snapshot in traffic. It hits Nick Schultz in front.
0 people.
Exceller will go rink wide for Nick Schultz. Justin backing up as the Oilers change their forward line. Perron is out there now with Yakupov and Hall. So juggling going on with Yolan Sue out of the lineup. Perron turned aside by Ryan Stanley. He's lined up by Yakupov as the Barbara makes the stop of that long shot.
0 people.
Changing as the Oilers come to center. Hall takes the bounce back pass from Yakupov. Fires it in, chases himself. Edlin off the glass and out for Vancouver. Speed to Belloff. Rushing ahead to Perron. Check by Grant Richardson. Edmonton back in its own zone again. Now ahead to Perron. The pass from Hall. Perron's pass to Henschke broken up. Grant Richardson back to the Edmonton zone. Belloff is there. Can't make a play as he tries to one-hand the puck. And David Perron will tip it. A soft puck into the zone. Boyd Gordon chasing down Sandarelli. Sandarelli wards him off. Makes the pass up the right board to Reese. Punches it outside the zone. And carries it into the Oiler end. Good chip and head for a change. Andrew Ferentz now.
0 people.
Boyd Gordon looking for Everly. He was onside, but the puck was knocked down. And back into the Edmonton zone. Petrie away from Yannick Weber on the forecheck. The 7th defender playing tonight at forward for Vancouver. Petrie backpedaling in his own zone to the left side. Ferentz up the board. All waiting for it at center. Head to Johansson. He's cut off by Matthews, and then he's hammered along the boards by Mike Brown.
0 people.
Edmonton back in his own zone again. Schultz retreating. Canucks changing on the fly as Justin Schultz speaks back to center. To the right side, Brown chipping it behind Stat. Action in there, banging with Kyle. Mike Brown comes up to the puck for Edmonton. Fires it back to Sneed. He fumbles it, then regains possession and turns it over. A stretch pass just missing from Henric Sadeen. He's there first. Daniel backhanding it right through the crease, looking for hands to his fans in the one-timer.
0 people.
Stanton's shot goes wide. Pass is broken up by Hall as Tanev couldn't get it through. Now Mike Brown, at the end of his shift, will get it deep and head to the Oiler bench. Around the boards it comes. Stanton tips it to center. Belloff takes it from David Booth. Back to Nick Schultz. And Schultz with some time. All the way to the right side to a charging Neil Yakupov. Yakupov in front. It's turned aside by Stanton.
0 people.
Now he's knocked off the puck by Arcabella. Yakupov chasing it along the near boards. Higgins takes it away and throws it back by his own net. Jason Garrison up the right side. Booth with some space ahead to Kessler. He's got Higgins with him. They switch at the line. Kessler shot off the leg of Belloff. Centering pass broken up and intended for Booth. And Yakupov at center now. This pass is knocked away by Edwards. The extra picks up the loose puck.
0 people.
For Alex Edwards. Back in transition comes Walker with deep chips and chases behind Petrie. Barbara throws it right back up the right side to Henschke. He flips it to center. And Boyd Gordon will get it back in the Canucks zone. Henschke is there first for the Oilers. Henschke lined up by the exit, still holding the puck though. Boyd Gordon has it knocked away. And Ezra will get it back to the line. But tipping it in the zone for Vancouver.
0 people.
Ferentz will pick up the puck as we approach the midway mark. Ahead to Henschke. Richardson breaks up the play. Hanson misses it to an open side. Petrie there to pick it up. Ferentz tries to hit Everly. He can't get a stick on it. Icing waved off as Toronto is in faster. He gets the pass to Hall. Ball can't get a clean shot. Ball buzzing now. Physical on Tanev. Forces a turnover.
0 people.
Down as Tanev knocks him off his feet. Now Weber is hit by Vincent Sneed. Everly covering for him. keeps it in. Richardson flipping it high, and it gets by Sneed and down the ice.
Much more competitive by the Edmonton Oilers now. This is better hockey.
One more jump, more grit. It's trailing by 3. Henric Sadeen with 3 assists tonight. This is a little too far up the left wing.
0 people.
Nick Schultz in his own zone. Too far for Brown. Bieksa sends it back in. Back in and Brown out there now with Yakupov. At the side of the net. Henric Sadeen. It gets away from Daniel. Continues. Bieksa. Booth picks up a loose puck and finds Henric alone. He passes, and it's stopped by LaBarbera. Henric looking for Daniel. But it's stopped by LaBarbera. Who's
0 people.
all the way with his paddle down in front. Sadeen's up to their tricks again. Not this time. And now for the Hockey Night close-up. And not this time. And now for the Hockey Night close-up, brought to you by Subway Restaurants. And in the focus tonight, John Tortorella.
Tortorella hoping his team can hang on for the next 9 minutes and 57 seconds. Get his first victory as a Vancouver Canuck coach.
0 people.
There's nothing sweeter than your first win in a new organization. The fiery Tortorella, I'm sure, will really enjoy that. And then move on, because tomorrow they're in Calgary, so no time to savor the victory.
3 games in 4 nights. Tough start for the Canucks.
Tuesday, Sunday, so
Tortorella is getting 5-4 tonight. And enjoying this one. 5-2 lead for the Canucks. All marging along the boards. He's got it. Back for Sneed is too far for him.
0 people.
Petrie is back first. It's Lee, and now Hall. Back to his own zone. Turning it over to Yannick Hansen. Hansen drops it for Henric. Here's Daniel cruising in from the line. Hall lost his stick. He's back to pick it up in the corner. As Sneed has the puck on his stick, bouncing it to Hemsky. Hemsky gets it behind Edler. He recovers. Oilers changing as Edler flips it.
0 people.
Icing waves on. Yakupov scoops up the puck. Ahead to Eberle. Back to Yakupov at full flight across the Vancouver line. The young Russian turning up high. Back to Justin Schultz. He's in. Fires. Oh, that may have hit the post. Back to Ferentz, the blast. That misses the net. There's a Capello with a one-timer, and he just misses an open high side on the glove hand of Roberto Luongo. Back up ice, it's Booth. Booth shot off the blocker of LaBarbera. Knocked away
0
by
people.
Justin Schultz. Bouncing behind the Oiler net to the corner. Booth banging with Ferentz. Bieksa walking the line. His pass comes outside the line. Hughes knocks it in, and the Canucks will clear the zone and change on the fly. Ferris waiting for French legs up front for Edmonton. As time ticks away, 8:15 to go here in the third period. Edmonton down by 3. Gazdic loses the puck.
0 people.
He throws it in deep again. Weiss chasing Justin Schultz along the boards. It comes free. Richardson towards the net. Centers it right through the crease. Santorelli can't convert. Will Acton flips it to center. Stanton fighting a loose bouncing puck. It comes free. Gazdic had it slapped away from his stick by Richardson. Canada takes a hit along the boards for the Oilers. Weiss will flip it off the glass and down the ice. Nick Schultz quickly back in his own zone. Santorelli on the forecheck. Got a stick on it. Acton
0
picks
people.
up the puck behind his net. Kellogg doesn't like what he sees. Backs up. The Oilers change up front again. Nick Schultz looking for Ryan Smith. No stick on it. This will be icing. Schultz looking for Ryan Smith. No stick on it. This will be icing.
Scores! And there's the first goal of the Stanley Cup final for the Edmonton Oilers.
0 people.
Hopkins. He gets it stick in the playoffs and ties the game.
Neil Yakupov showing his speed and
Messenger. No.
agility.
Tyler Pickett. Lunch is ready.
The spot coming through the middle. There's Craig McTavish and Kate Yoner. Right here, there's the agility. Boy, I'll tell you, that's pretty impressive. Then he spots a Justin Schultz coming in late. Schultz goes high, short side again. Hits a little bit of Luongo's shoulder.
0 people.
Then hits the crossbar. Then Arcabella gets a chance right here. with Luongo coming from his right to his left to open top part of the net.
Perron takes the pass from Smith, leaves it for Boyd Gordon, and the Oilers are offside at the Vancouver blue line. We'll take a break as the Canucks hold on to their 3-goal lead, out shooting Edmonton 37-18.
Points tonight, 4 on the season, so that's a good start. He
Zero
and
people.
Daniel unveiled Sadeen Corner at Rogers Arena tonight. It's a private suite that'll accommodate for each game 14 kids who normally wouldn't have a chance to see Vancouver games. Canucks quick out of here to fly to Calgary for tomorrow night's game. We'll have Henric Sadeen with us on After Hours for as long as time permits. It's the inaugural edition of After Hours, probably shorter than we'd like it, but it'll be Henric Sadeen with Gemini award-winning broadcaster Kelly Rudy and me on After Hours.
I like that, Scott. Keep that up.
0 people.
By the billboard, David Perron was given an unsportsmanlike penalty at the whistle, so the Canucks go back on the power play. They're 1 for 5 tonight. Kessler to Henric Sadeen along the boards. He'll trade places with Kessler, leave it for Daniel in the corner. Back to the point it comes. Edler looking for the tip on a shot pass by Kessler. That nearly worked. Edler runs into the linesman as Garrison
Zero
back
people.
to clean up, with Hemsky charging in shorthanded. Nick Schultz in his own end. Across to Ferentz and out.
In so many.
Kevin Bieksa, part of the core that John Tortorella is working with as he tries to reshape this Canuck team. Higgins fires, stopped by LaBarbera. He's been perfect.
0 people.
In relief, Stephen Goodman. Now Hamhuis in deep. More of that risk-taking, more of that safe-as-death kind of hockey that Tortorella wants. Higgins battling for the puck with Gordon. He gets it to Booth. Booth rims it around the boards. Hamhuis waiting at the blue line. Takes the pass, fires, it's blocked up high by Boyd Gordon. Hamhuis gets the puck back down to Bieksa. In deep, throws it on goal. Stopped
0 people.
Hansen back to Hamhuis. Another shot pass. Bieksa is right in there. Tapped by Higgins. Can't solve LaBarbera, and the Oilers will get it down the ice. The penalty to Perron is over. Stretch pass, trying to catch Perron. He's out of the box. Here comes Bieksa, still trying to hold him off. It's in the crease, still loose. Here comes Richardson. He pounces on a giveaway. In behind the net. Belloff trying to find the puck. Santorelli
0 people.
is tied up. Now Skent is pinching in deep, all the way from the blue line. Santorelli protecting the puck, away from Justin Schultz. Still on it. What an effort along the boards. 3 Oilers now trying to dig the puck for Santorelli. The fans give him a big cheer. Holding the puck at bay. It comes free. Stanley along the boards. Can't find it. It squirts to Perron. And David Perron tries to make a move. He's stopped
0
by
people.
Tandem. Arcabello gets it deep in behind the net. Everly waiting. Arcabello cuts off the pass. Fires it on goal. Pad save Luongo. Pass is picked off by Gadget. The slugger can't get his shot through. Stanton now will get it off and blast it out to center. Santorelli's got to be exhausted. Tips it in and heads for a change.
Great shift by Santorelli.
Look at this. Vancouver native is so excited. He's
0
his
people.
hometown. There's a loose puck knocked away from speed as Robbie gets in there deep. Mike Brown, the former Canuck, tipping it in deep. Will Atkins chasing down Garrison. He gets there first, but can't get it out. He's waiting along the board. Back to Brown. Brown chased down by Edler. Edler gets his arm around him, and this will be a penalty. A holding call coming to Alex Edler with 3:36 to go.
0 people.
In the third period. So the Oilers will get a power play as Edler surrounds Brown in deep. John Tortorella, the new voice, new energy, new systems here in Vancouver. He's still got his core. He's got the Sadeens, Kessler, Burroughs, who's injured right now, Bieksa, Hamhuis. But 7 players aren't back from last season. Lapierre, Ebbett, Mason Raymond, Manny Malhotra, Aaron Volpatti, Keith Ballard, and of course Corey
0 people.
Schneider. And the Canucks talked about a youthful, but that hasn't materialized. Many of their prospects haven't been able to stick with the club.
It's a lot of turnover, though.
It is a lot of turnover, especially in the bottom six. So the Oilers will pull their goalie with 3.5 minutes to go. And a power play with Edler in the box for holding. Justin Schultz to Yakupov, his one-timer misses. Hall back to the point. Schultz to Yakupov, and he misses again and slaps his stick in frustration on the ice. Kessler gets his stick in the road and gets it out. Yakupov, back up ice, is knocked down by Hall. Picked up now by Yakupov. He winds and fires, misses again. That's 3 misses on 3 attempts for Yakupov, and it's cleared back down the ice.
Some people may argue that the Oilers took their goalie out too soon. I'd say I like the move. You know what? They're playing to win, even though they're down 5-2 with over 3 minutes to go. Hold the goalie and see what kind of chances you can get.
Eberle dangling and a big rebound there that got away. There's a long draw-away shot that just misses. And Justin Schultz is back to scoop it up. 2:20 to go in the period. A tall order for the Oilers, down by 3. Arcabello ahead to Perron. He knocks it down on the block. Around for Ryan Smith in the corner. Leaving it for David Perron. Perron back to the line. Justin Schultz to Yakupov in front. Passing it through the crease. Nobody there to convert for Edmonton. Arcabello on the puck. Attacks, fires. Blocker save by Luongo. Garrison hits it off the glass all the way down the ice. It's got to roll towards the net. Here comes Schultz. He won't get there. Go. Garrison hits it off the glass all the way down the ice. It's got to...
0 people.
Attacks, fires, blocker save by Luongo. Garrison hits it off the glass all the way down the ice. TV.
Hurts more in Calgary.
Vancouver.
Take chances and hope.
Wrist shot.
I'd say short of a... Well, with the Vancouver Canucks...
0 people.
I'd say short of a victory here, 6-2 with 1:28.
Don't go out on a limb or anything.
Does that mean that young, or I guess it's not all that young, 25 years old, Eddie Lack, does he get the start tomorrow in Calgary?
Is Luongo the night off?
If they're trying to have Roberto play ballpark 60, 65 games, does that mean Eddie Lack gets his first National Hockey League start versus the maybe surprising Calgary
0 people.
Flames? 3 points.
Yes.
3 out of 4 on the road.
A lot of hustle on that team that was written off by most pundits earlier this season. We've reached the final minute of this hockey game. Delphi getting some ice in the final minute, banging with Zerlakin. Scramble along the boards. Gazdic can't get it out. It's kept in by the XF. Golfing bouncing shot that Delphi just missed. And
0 people.
now Weber the outlets to and Speed by the comes in. On the board. Luongo to Yakupov. Basket. Henric Sadeen back and
Take
forth.
picture.
Meets
Pause recording.
Kyle off the clock here in the second period, so Vancouver will start the third on the power play. Outshooting Edmonton 34-15. Daniel Sadeen and Kessler for Vancouver in the second. Boyd Gordon and
0 people.
for Edmonton.
5-2 Canucks to start the third period. The Oilers return home tonight to face New Jersey on
Starting this.
So it wouldn't surprise me really if Taylor Hall goes back on the wing.
Starting this.
Goal or two, you just gotta. I mean, a little bit. I think you guys can get a little bit frustrated at times, and I mean, we can't
0
do
people.
that. I mean, if we get down by a goal or two, you just gotta keep the pressure up and not let it affect us too much.
tough game to watch. I know. I can imagine how badly you want to be up there trying to make a difference. Thanks for your time.
All right, thanks a lot.
To Mark Lee and Kelly Rudy for the third.
Thank you, Scott. The Canucks starting this third period on the power play with David Brown in the box. They're holding the stick. And you have to wonder with Taylor Hall struggling in 2 games now as a centerman. He's going to score tonight, whether he'll go back to the wing on Monday night against the Devils. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is scheduled to return.
And -5 in
the Devils. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is scheduled to return.
And -5 in these 2 games, Mark. So it wouldn't surprise me really if Taylor Hall goes back on the wing when Nugent Hopkins comes back. You know, today is not a good day for Taylor Hall. I thought that at points during the preseason he was making progress as a center. I like the experiment. But clearly there's something amiss right now, and you know they're going to need wins desperately, and that starts Monday versus New Jersey, as Scott said. And best way to do that is put people in familiar positions.
Canucks are 1 for 4 on the power play tonight. Henric Sadeen scoring in the second period. Here's Edler across the line, reaching his Kessler. He fires it right on goal. LaBarbera making the save. The power play. Joining this game in the second period after Devin Dubnyk was pulled and 5 goals on 31 shots. Daniel Sadeen, the Kessler in the near corner. To the blue line. Edler through traffic, a high Irish shot into the glass. 30 seconds now on the Canuck power play. Edler again, dropping it. A blast by Garrison is blocked up high. Gordon rushing to the front. It comes free along the boards. Henric Sadeen to his brother Daniel on the side of the goal. Daniel patiently back to Henric in front for Kessler. He's taken down, can't get the shot. Daniel again along the board, turning away from Hall, leaving it for Kessler. Canucks toying with the puck. Now they lose it. And Gordon firing it to the line is knocked down by Garrison. The penalty to Perron is over. 2 shots on goal. And the Canucks power 2-1 lead. Gordon will flip it back down the ice, and the tired penalty kill unit heads to the other bench. Kevin Bieksa.
0 people.
Ice for Hansen. He tips it to center. Perron backhanding to Arcavelli. Back to Perron. Perron in off the side of the goal with his shot, and Luongo will cover it up with his catching hand.
Ryan Kessler, who keeps saying he's had a terrific game right here. It's a shot right here, and this is just way too easy where he just goes in and easily gets the puck back once more. And that's why Vancouver's
0 people.
nursing a 5-2 lead here. Now they're trying to get a little bit too fancy. Maybe Boyd Gordon makes a great play on Kessler, but at some point, Henrik should have maybe shot that one.
Canucks hoping Kessler can stay healthy this year. 8 shots he's had so far tonight as LaBarbera throws it back to center. Played only 17 games last year, missed 31 to injury. And a couple of tough seasons for him. Eberle caught up in the check by Santorelli. Now he regains control and drops it back to Anton Bello. Ahead to Yakupov. Yakupov pass off the boards. Eberle has to wait for it, puts it ahead to Justin Schultz. Schultz shoots off the goalpost as he jumped the rush, showing his offensive flash. Weiss will drift it back down the ice. But a great chance there for Justin Schultz. Belon ahead to Will Acton. He's checked by Galto. Gazdic
0 people.
Back in. Grinders on the ice. Mosquito throws it behind the net. LaBarbera waiting. Dan Weber on the forecheck. Smartly out is Will Acton. Fourth liners. Can't get it deep enough though as Mosquito gets it to the line. Weber lined up behind
20% battery.
And the play is whistled down at the line as they push in Chavez, Mosquito, and Gazdic are going to go. So the 2 sluggers finally drop the gloves, and Gazdic.
0 people.
There's Mosquito, Will Acton. Fourth liners.
Viewfinder. Focus on image.
Can't get it deep enough.
Double tap to focus.
Mosquito gets it to the line. Fourth liners. Can't get it deep enough though. As
They go just drop short-handed attempt.
Sorry, Kelly. Justin Schultz led all rookie defensemen in scoring last year with 27 points, but he also was a -17, the worst in the Oilers, and there's the compromise as he still learns the defensive game. There's Kessler.
0 people.
Good wrist shot. Goes around the glass. 5 each for fighting to Gazdic and Mosquito as they cool off in the penalty box. Justin Schultz, headmans to Hall. On to Yakupov. Dale Yakupov going wide. His shot high and stopped by Luongo. No rebound. Downstairs, and here's Scott.
Hey, Mark, just to make things a little bit tougher for the Oilers in the third, yes, Johansson didn't come out to start.
So,
0 people.
but it's done him in tonight. And the big loss and a big hole for the Oilers. He was one of their better players on opening night.
If not their best player.
Arcobello on the back check takes it from Booth. Schultz, Justin Schultz, rink wide for Ryan Smith. He fires it in the Canucks zone. Arcobello hard on the forecheck. There comes Smith. It gets past him, and the Canucks are back up ice. The exit across the line. Drops
0
to
people.
Kessler. Kessler, a snapshot in traffic. It hits Nick Schultz in front. Arcobello will go rink wide to Nick Schultz. Justin backing up as the Oilers change their forward line. Perron is out there now with Yakupov and Hall. So some juggling going on with Johansson out of the lineup. Perron turned aside by Ryan.
0 people.
He's lined up by Yakupov as LaBarbera makes the stop of that long shot. Canucks changing as the Oilers come to center. Hall takes the bounce back pass from Yakupov, fires it and chases himself. Edlin off the glass and out for Vancouver. Speed to Belov, rushing ahead to Perron. Hit check by Brad Richardson. Edmonton back in its own
0
zone
people.
again. Now ahead to Perron, the pass from Hall. Perron's pass to Hemsky broken up. Brad Richardson back in the Edmonton zone. Belov is there. Can't make a play as he tries to one-hand the puck. And David Perron will chip it. A soft puck into the zone. Boyd Gordon chasing down Sandarelli. Sandarelli wards him off. Makes the pass up the right boards to Weiss. Punches it outside the zone and carries it into the Oiler end.
0 people.
Good chip and head for a change. Andrew Ferentz now leading the Oiler rush. Boyd Gordon looking for Everly. He was onside, but the puck was knocked down. And back into the Edmonton zone. Petrie away from Yannick Weber on the forecheck. The 7th defender playing tonight at forward for Vancouver. Petrie backpedaling in his own zone to the left side. Ferentz up the board. Hall waiting for it at center. Head to
0 people.
Willaston. He's cut off by Hamhuis, and then he's hammered along the boards by Mike Brown. Edmonton back in its own zone again. Schultz retreating. Canucks changing on the fly as Justin Schultz skates back to center. To the right side, Brown chipping it behind Stanton. Action in there, banging with Cannon. Mike Brown comes up with the puck for Edmonton. Fires it back to Schmid, who fumbles it, then regains possession and turns it over. A stretch pass just missing from Henric to Daniel. He's
0
head
people.
first. Daniel backhanding it right through the crease, looking for Hansen, who fans in the one-timer. Stanton's shot goes wide. Pass is broken up by Hall as Tanev couldn't get it through. Now Mike Brown at the end of his shift will get it deep and head to the Oiler bench. Around the boards it comes. Stanton chips it to center. Belov takes it from David Booth. Back to Nick Schultz. And Schultz with some time. All the way to the right side to a trap
0
from
people.
Neil Yakupov. Yakupov in front. It's turned aside by Stanton. Now he's knocked off the puck by Arcobello. Yakupov chasing it along the near boards. Higgins takes it away and throws it back behind his own net. Jason Garrison up the right side. Booth with some space ahead to Kessler. He's got Higgins
1.0
with him.
viewfinder. Focus on 1 hour, 43. Pause recording. But take picture. Pause. 1 hour, 43 minutes. Pause recording.
Centering pass broken up, intended for Booth. And Yakupov
0 people.
at center now. His pass is knocked away by Edler. The exit picks up the loose puck and drops it for Alex Edler. Back in transition comes Galpe as he chips and chases behind Petrie. Barbara throws it right back up the right side to Hemsky. He flips it to center. And Boyd Gordon will get it back in the Canucks zone. Hemsky is there first for the Oilers. Hemsky lined up by the exit, still holding the puck though. Boyd Gordon has it knocked away.
0 people.
And Edler will get it back. As Edler misses on. get it out. It's kept.
It's a real
The whistle. Longo serenaded again. Longo, so he throws the puck to the
0
corner.
people.
He took goals by Matthews and Hansen.
Henric Sadeen
Two
will
quick
shoot.
goals in 18 seconds as Luongo makes another save.
Sadeen shoots. He scores! That's it! Henric Sadeen, the overtime winner in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. 2-1 in overtime.
0 people.
Caved in on the Oilers as the horn sounds to end this hockey game. The left wing takes 20 seconds to assist in a 6-2 Vancouver victory. As head coach John Tortorella took the choice of the Schultz. Under 1 second late in the third period in a 6-2 Vancouver.
0 people.
21 saves in a 6-2 Vancouver victory. 2-1 in overtime for the Canucks. John Tortorella. Henric Sadeen to Vancouver victory. As head coach John Tortorella gets his first victory as the new headmaster here in Vancouver.
Just an excellent display by the Vancouver Canucks. Can't talk enough about their puck support, how they're excellent in that department, puck management as well. And
0 people.
Oilers are going to go home and face New Jersey. They're going to have to be a better team. There's no question about it. They're not going to win a lot of games if that's the sort of effort they're going to put out there.
2-0 series extent.
Vancouver in complete control. As Luongo snatches a big smile. Gets his first win of the season to 2-0. Canucks outshooting the Oilers flashes a big smile. Gets his first win of the season. The Canucks
0 people.
outshooting Edmonton 44-23. A 6-2 masterpiece here tonight.
In overtime.